Hello everyone, I welcome you all to this class. This is mathematics class, and today we are here again to look at another important interesting topic, composition of functions. We have actually introduced this topic in our previous classes, and we want to look at the fourth example. Now, assuming that you have the two real valued function of real variable f and g, you want to get f composition g. This f not g is f composition g. That's how you read it. F composition g of x is equal to f of g of x. What this means is that f composition g of x is the same thing as putting the value of the second function. The second function is what? G. The first function is what? F. So you are putting the second function, the value of the second function, inside the first function. So I have the first function, then I will do bracket. What I will put inside this first function, f, is what? The second function, g of x. So let's look at this fourth example. We have that f of x is 3x minus 4. That's a polynomial function. And g of x is the absolute value function, absolute value of x. So we want to find f composition g and the range of values of this f composition g. Let's look at the first one. Solution. So for the a part, we need to get what? F composition g. But we are doing it at x, right? So this is f, this f composition, this thing they say find f composition g is same thing as saying find f composition g of x. So at any real variable x. So this is f of what? The first function is what? F. You are going to write f first. You do bracket. What you are going to put inside f is the value of the second function. What is the second function? G. So I'll put g, the value of g, that's g of x, inside f. So this is equal to what? F of. So what is g of x? You go and check what g of x is. G of x is the absolute value of x. That's the absolute value function. I'll put it as absolute value of x is the same thing as what? G of x. Then I'll go to, so what is inside f is now this absolute value. So I'm having f of absolute value of x. Now look at how your f is defined. F of x is 3x minus 4. The simple meaning of this is that anything you put inside f, you are going to multiply it by what? 3 and minus 4 from it. So what is inside f now is what? The absolute value. So since it's the absolute value that is inside it, so I'm going to remove this x. I will now do 3 times what? What is inside now? Absolute value, then minus 4. So I'm going to have what? 3 times, instead of 3 times x, it will be 3 times this quantity, absolute value of x. Then minus what? 4. This is our f composition g. So we now do f. The second one, they ask us to find the range of values of this f composition g. Now assuming in your exam that what they ask you to find is this second one, that's just simply find the range of values of f composition g. You should know that before you find the range of values of f composition g, you must find f composition g. That's this first one, f composition g of x. I told you that writing it in this form, f composition g, is the same as finding f composition g at any real variable x. So we want to get the range of this. Our f composition g of x is this quantity. So we need to get the range of values of it. We know that absolute value function. What is the definition of absolute value of x? Absolute value of x by definition, absolute value of x is what? X if x is positive, greater than 0. It is 0 if x is 0, and it is minus x if x is less than 0. That's a negative number. In mathematics, if you want to say that something is negative, you simply put less than 0. If you want to say that something is positive, put greater than 0. So this is the possible values of absolute value. So this absolute value of x, I know that is either it is either that the answer is x, that's if x is positive, or that the answer is minus x, that's if x is negative, right? Then or the answer is what? 0. Because if x is negative, you do minus of the negative, it will be positive. This tells us that what? Absolute value of anything is always what? Positive. Absolute value cannot give you a negative answer. It is always what? The positive of it. It cannot give you negative, it's always positive of it. So now I know that this absolute value of x is a positive quantity. Is either a positive quantity or it is what? 0. So then it means that what will be the smallest value of this expression? The smallest value of this expression, 3 times this quantity minus 4. The smallest is when the absolute value is what? 0. The absolute value of is 0, then 3 times 0 is what? Is 0. Then 0 minus 4, you are going to get what? Minus 4. So the smallest value of f composition G is what? Minus 4. Then for other values of x, this absolute value function will always be what? Increasing. And if it's increasing, 3 times something that's increasing will give you bigger quantity, and if you are minusing from it, as you go on, the answer will always be what? Increasing. So because of this, the smallest value of this is what? Minus what? 4. Minus 4 is the smallest value. Then the biggest value is it goes on to positive infinity. It goes on to positive infinity. So you know that infinity is not a real number. But if something goes to positive infinity, that's something is becoming big. We don't know where it ends. So we normally say it goes to positive infinity. So the highest value goes to positive infinity. So the smallest value is 4, and because the smallest value is minus 4, and because minus 4 is the starting smallest value of it, I'll use close bracket at minus 4. Then I'll open I will do comma. Then the other one, since it goes to positive infinity, I'll put what? Positive infinity. Then at positive infinity, I'll use what? Open bracket, because infinity is not a real number. So I'll use open bracket. These are the range of values of this f composition G. So thank you so much for being part of this class. I'm expecting you in our upcoming class. Bye.